The old saying, you can tune a guitar, but you can't tune a fish. No, I couldn't help it. Couldn't help it. So good morning. Okie doke. So, another Sunday, last Sunday before Advent. Talk today is prepare the table. Although we've already gotten up from the table this week, we've had Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving, as I mentioned last week, is the perfect precursor to Christmas. It begins, and next week begins our Christmas season of Advent. I spoke last week about Thanksgiving and gratitude being the beginning of knowing the truth that will set you free to be the creation that Spirit has intended you to be. During Advent, we take 4 weeks to focus on hope, peace, joy, and love. And in preparation for the fullness of the Christ experience, the birth of the greater understanding of God as you. That's what we're always going for. We're always going for that greater understanding of God as me, of God as self. How is God moving through you? Because your relationship with God is consistently changing. God's relationship with you does not. It is steady. It is true. It is a powerful thing. And the more we release and are able to let go and let God be God in me, the better life gets. Sometimes it doesn't feel better, but it can be easier to navigate. Usually, when we talk about Thanksgiving and gratitude, we talk about being grateful or thankful for when we talk about being grateful or thankful, we're doing so in respect to something we have, something we've received, or something we desire to receive. That's one of the things that Unity teaches. If you need something in your life, if you would like to have something in your life, give thanks for it first. Give thanks for it first. And that gets the wheels moving. All this is necessary and good. That's because when you're grateful for what you do have and for what you are in the process of receiving, whether you know what that is or not, now you can be grateful for what Spirit has in store for you and have no idea what that is. I invite you to try a meditation like that, or try that meditation for a while. Simply know that Spirit is bringing something to you, because Spirit is always bringing something to you. Always, always, always. You probably do not know what that is, but be grateful for it. For whatever it is going to be the blessing. It's going to bring with it something good, something outstanding for you, to move you along, to make your life a greater and better thing. when you're doing this, when you're bringing yourself into that idea of thankfulness for something which is coming, what you're doing is you're consciously relating to and affirming the universal presence of creation, manifestation, and supply. I'll say that again. When you're giving gratitude for something, especially something that you do not know that's coming, but you're grateful for God's good moving to you and through you, you're connecting yourself. You're affirming the universal presence of creation, manifestation, and supply, the presence of which you are a sentinel. You are a sentinel of creation, manifestation, and supply. As you allow Spirit to work through you and as you stand at the door of creation. You stand at the door of manifestation as living proof of universal supply because of how it shows up in your life, seemingly out of nowhere. Each of you is an example of that supply. I'm sure you can all think of a time when something good just spontaneously came to you. And that makes you the sentinel of Spirit. You're living proof that God's blessing manifests. That God's blessing is here, now, working. Ed Rabel, a great metaphysician of unity, he's passed now, and he is like the great unity metaphysician. And if you want to see and connect with some of his stuff, go to truthunity.net. Truthunity.net. And he has tapes and some of his books and all that kind of stuff. Truthunity.net. And he was phenomenal. I've told this story about him before. When I was in one of his classes, and one of the other students, he was talking about something, and one of the other students popped up and said, "Ed, what happens to us when we die?" He looked at her, and he used to do this and shake his head. Shook his head, he said, "How the hell do I know?" Ed Rabel tells us, Thanksgiving after the fact is etiquette. Thanksgiving before the fact is true acknowledgement of God. Thanksgiving after the fact is etiquette. Before the fact is true acknowledgement of God. What it is it's an act of faith. It's an act of faith. That's what giving thanks before the blessing is. An act of faith that God is source. God is source. Spirit is source. Source of all things good. Our jobs are not source. The government through Social Security or whatever are not source. Our investments are not source. Spirit is source. Spirit works through all these things, to bring financial source. But Spirit is source. An acknowledgement of the truth that God is already here. That's what you're doing. You're acknowledging that God is already here, present, right here, right now. All the good that could ever be is present and working in your life. Imagine that. All the good that could ever be is present and working in your life. As you align and attune to that universal presence, the awareness of it and experience of your spiritual presence is magnified. The truth of you is magnified because it is one and the same. Excuse me. You are the individual aspect of the one spiritual presence through which God is working to bring forth good in all humanity. Let's say that again. You are the individual aspect of the one spiritual presence through which God is working to bring forth good in all of humanity. We find in John 4, 35 through 36, Jesus tells us, do not say, there are yet 4 months. Oh, do you not say, there are yet 4 months, then comes the harvest? I tell you. Now, when Jesus says, I tell you, he means for you to listen. So he says, listen up, lift your eyes, and see how the fields are already ripe for harvest. He who reaps receives wages and gathers fruit for eternal life, so that the sower and the reaper may rejoice together. Jesus is telling us that now is the time. Not when you've received whatever results you're looking for. You've been planting seeds for results. We're waiting for them to sprout and bear fruit. Don't wait that long. Now is the time to know the truth, to acknowledge that the Spirit is here now waiting to be harvested. The Spirit in your life is waiting to be harvested for showing how powerfully the all-providing presence can work as you align yourself, your consciousness, with that energy of love that has already manifested this idea. It is already fulfilled in God's mind, or you would not have it. The field, your life, is ripe for harvesting. The sower, which is God, the reaper, which is you, rejoice together as the truth of God as you is realizing this manifestation and fulfillment, bringing additional blessing to the world. Because as you are blessed, you bring that blessing with you. As your heart expands because something good has happened in your life, you bring that expansion with you. You bring that light, that love, that confidence that goes with you. And it affects other people. Someone else may need to be around that in a particular moment. and you come in all, all full of yourself, all full of spirit, because, boy, it worked. It worked. We were so happy when it works. And somebody may just need that little spark to get it to work for them, to make their heart open, to be inspired by you. Imagine that. Somebody being inspired by you. Happens all the time, whether you know it or not. Then most likely you don't know it. So this week, friends, prepare to receive. Be joyous while looking over the field of your life and see that it is ripe for harvest, and know that those blessings are coming your way, and feel the unconditional love, the love that is behind those blessings, the blessings you have and those you are about to receive. God blesses you.